welcome back to HR Unlocked.
The podcast.
The podcast. Hey, AJ. You
Hi,
hear
AJ.
I said AJ?
For the first time.
I know. You still Alfred always, but it's okay.
Yes.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. I cannot complain.
It's hot outside.
Well, it's still fall. We got a little bit of cool weather coming in.
Yeah, it's coming. Yeah, it's coming.
I appreciate it. It's not 100 degrees every day.
All right. Are you going to give me something for Christmas?
What? How do we transition to Christmas? It's
Well-
not even Thanksgiving. I guess. What you want?
Nike.
Oh, all right. I'll see what I can do.
Okay,
Maybe.
don't
All right.
forget.
What do I get? See?
And moving on.
Moving on. Okay. Anyways, but back to it.
Right.
This episode, we are going to talk about gatekeeping.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh,
so
that's a good one.
yeah, I think so. I think it's kind of a loaded topic,
Yeah,
sure,
it
but
is.
I think it's super important.
Yeah.
It's super important. So we'll break down that a little bit. I think for the most part, my experience with it has included people who were my senior. So managers, things of that nature, especially walk into an organization. We always talk about how we're, millennials. So people come in and they see us and they think we're a little green.
Right. Yeah.
We've been around the block.
We've been around.
Yeah, we have a little knowledge, right?
Yeah, a little something.
So yeah, I think that's a really big topic as well, because people, like I said, they tend to underestimate us,
Yep.
right, when we walk into the door.
And I think my experience, or some of my experience, has been peers gatekeeping, or peers knowing things or not wanting to give you information because they fear, maybe, or they're intimidated by your skill set.
Absolutely, and that you may replace them.
Yeah,
That's what I find
That's
too.
not the case.
Yes,
I mean,
there's-
just give me the information, and if I'm better than you, that's what it is.
Right.
Okay.
Well, also it can be like we can be a team. We
Yeah.
can help each other.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same like on the podcast here. There are things that I think you excel in. There's things that I excel in.
Absolutely.
We work together and we're a team.
Like
right?
the welcome.
Well.
So Evan, before we get into the topic though,
Uh-huh.
I have a story.
Okay. Yeah.
So, in the organization I work for, and it's manufacturing distribution, right?
Yeah.
And there's always something going on, right? And you can't make this stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
So this employee, there's a husband and wife, which are already, just the husband and wife working there is just already crazy.
So
right?
do they work in the same department? Please tell me no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Like they work.
Is one in like a senior to the other? Oh, no. Tell me.
No, I think they're
Okay.
on the same plane,
Okay.
but I think they work maybe in the same plant, but maybe a
Right.
different part of the plant.
Okay. That.
So the wife
Mhm.
asked the person on my team, "Can we terminate somebody for cheating?" So the husband cheated on her.
Oh no. I'm
With
not
the-
laughing at that. It's just funny that she brought it to HR.
No, here's the husband cheated on her with another employee who works with her. My God, today.
Oh. Wow.
And their friend, the husband and wife's friend, know about it.
Oh, that's sticky.
What about? Talk about gatekeeping. Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
So like, what do you do? What do you, as an HR manager that you are, such an extraordinary one, what do you do with that?
So,
Not as a soon-to-be wife, by the way.
yeah, none of
Oh,
us.
by the way, Abby's getting married,
I am.
so won't be seeing her much
Mm,
because she'll be with
I'll
her.
be,
her
yeah,
man.
exactly. And on honeymoon.
Yeah. So I'll be here.
Yes.
Um,
I guess you'll have a temporary,
I'll have a temporary-
Co-host.
Yeah, I will.
but I'm irreplaceable. So,
But I mean, if they do, maybe I do three no call no show, 3 day no call no show. So what do you do? What do you do with that information?
so first of all, someone's personal life, to me, as long as it doesn't come in and affect their job,
Yep.
shouldn't be brought to HR, right? And the same, like I could have a really crazy Saturday where I drink a lot and I'm having fun with my friends, right? As long as I'm not, like screaming on the TV about my company or you know,
Right.
telling
Yeah.
crazy things that could
Yeah.
make them look bad.
Yeah.
That doesn't affect my job, right?
Yeah.
I think the same with relationships. If I get into a fight with my sister and maybe I don't know, took her shirt or something like that, or like borrowed something without telling her, that type of thing. That shouldn't be brought to my HR
Right.
department.
Like what are
So
we gonna do about it?
yeah. Now I will say, outside of HR, I think that someone who would cheat on their spouse is a little untrustworthy in general,
Yeah.
but that can't really affect their job. Two things can exist at once. I always say that.
Yeah.
Someone can cheat on their wife, but be an extraordinary employee.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, it sounds like the wife is definitely a little scorned.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why she's bringing it, because she feels like she wants to possibly get him in trouble.
Yep.
Or somebody terminated.
Mm-hmm.
But the other aspect of that is, does she feel like she can't control herself in that situation?
Great point.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She told the person on my team that she came to us because she don't know what she's going to do when she see the woman.
Oh, wow.
And I said,
Mm.
did you tell her if she engages in any type of workplace violence, she would be terminated?
Absolutely. Because that's the thing. We as adults have control over ourselves.
Your emotions.
Yeah.
I
So,
understand though. I get it.
and financially too. I mean, like, that's the way that you pay your bills, you live. So you should be able to draw that line.
Yeah.
You know, I can just imagine myself, even if it was a friend or something like that maybe we didn't have the best relationship and something happened.
Yeah.
I would honestly just keep it 100% professional.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't have to talk. We don't have to chit chat.
We don't have to chit chat.
Especially if they're in different areas, they may not ever cross paths.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I don't know if I could work with my spouse.
Yeah. No.
And or partner. I just
no. I love my fiance so dearly, but we need that time apart, right? Well, personally, I think some people, maybe it can work differently, right?
Yep.
Because I've known a lot of couples who open up businesses and things like that together.
That's a little different.
Yeah, but
working for a corporate America or whatever type of organization and seeing them at home.
Yeah, because they know everything that happens. They're like, oh yeah, I heard that happened in your department. What was going on? You see them at lunch, you know?
Oh my God.
Yeah, it can be difficult.
Imagine. We got to talk at home and work.
Oh yeah.
You know how I feel about all that talking.
I know, it's too much of it, right?
Okay.
That's an interesting story though. But I'm glad you told her that said, hey, you know, if you engage in any type of physical, like, harm on anyone else, if you inflict that on anyone else, sorry, you got to go.
Yeah. Like you want him turned, but look at you.
Yeah. But it's funny, hey, the things we run into as HR professionals.
We love
right?
HR.
I love it. That's interesting.
It is.
It's one of those where you have to keep such a straight face when they're telling you, but when they leave, you're laughing.
I mean, I'm calling you, be like, can you believe what just
Goodness.
So gatekeeping.
Yeah, so gatekeeping. I think we kind of touch base on that, kind of just, how our leaders, but also our peers can participate in it.
Yep.
And it can also, for me, it can be a big block to innovation. And it can create a toxic work environment, because if I'm working with you, if I walk into an organization, right, I expect to be given the tools I need to succeed.
Yep.
And if you're
especially by the person that looks like us.
Yeah.
You know, it's so unfortunate sometimes we, or the people that look like us, or has the gate locked. But here on HR Unlocked the podcast, we want the gate open. We want to share as much knowledge as we can. But some of us, they just keep the gate locked.
Yeah.
And they don't want to share, if at all, any information. But why?
Yeah. I think it goes back to, as a person of color, you mentioned, people feel as though there's only one seat at the table.
Yeah.
Like there's only a certain quota allowed for minorities in an organization. I've heard that a lot before. There can't be two of us. Like, there can only be one of us.
Like, what does that mean?
Right. It makes no sense, because to me, especially I'm the glass half full type of person. I think as a society, we are moving towards so much more inclusion.
Yeah.
And we're basing our hiring off of skill set. So that is what is the most important?
Yep.
What are your skills? What do you bring to the table?
Mm-hmm.
And also as a team, especially in HR, where oftentimes, we have our managers, our business partners, our generalists, our assistants. You need to create a strong team.
Yeah.
Oftentimes
Exactly.
for so long, people of color were not given that seat at the table. And now that we are, let's help each other.
Let's help each
You
other.
know, let's promote each other. If there's somebody that that has as a business, I'm a big proponent of that. Is supporting small
Yeah.
businesses. Let's bolster them. Let's
Yeah.
repost them.
Yeah.
Let's give them a little bit of
Absolutely.
time to shine, especially if you have a platform for
Yeah.
it.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And to that point, gatekeeping knowledge and information doesn't help you or the person.
Mm.
Because if I come in and I know, let's say I know about HR analytics and I can pull a report and I can give you all the information you need in 5 minutes.
Right.
And there's somebody else who comes in and I need to teach them this, but if I teach them, that means they won't come to me anymore. They'll go to this other person.
Mm.
Who cares?
Yeah. Shouldn't matter.
Like,
Should not matter.
I need it for my role, for my job. Help me. Show me how to do it.
Yeah. And
It's
we can all be
okay.
more functional in that
Right.
respect. Because that's another thing is, as HR folks, we always say, we're on call all the time.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be nice if you're in, I don't know, Hawaii and you're on the beach and your boss doesn't have to call you and say, hey, Brenda, how do I do this report? They can go to your peer and say, hey, I know Brenda usually does this, but can you get this to me? And you're
They'd be like,
completely
oh, yeah,
comfortable.
duh.
Yes.
Brenda showed me how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's your name,
Absolutely.
Brenda.
I don't know. I just chose it. Brenda. I don't know.
We love a Brenda.
Whatever. It's a generic.
Right.
Whatever.
Brenda. Hey, Brenda's out there. We appreciate you. But it's not only the shared of knowledge, but it also impacts the organization, right? From a diversity perspective, especially when people of color are excelling in organizations who may not normally excel. Or what if it's not a lot of us?
Yeah.
Right?
You're creating that seat at the table.
Yep.
And then it's also like because unfortunately, I mean, you've experienced it, I've experienced it. A lot of organizations, they may have been founded in times that were we didn't have that seat.
Yep.
They didn't see us as equals.
Yep.
So naturally, some of their originators, the founders, the CEOs, they, typically white men.
Yeah.
So if you're able to be given an opportunity there, again, why not leave the ladder behind you? Give the opportunity for other folks to come in and be able to excel as well.
Exactly.
I just, to me, it's one of those things that I truly don't understand. I've been met with it so many times in my career, and I've had to really just fight and try to just figure it out on myself to get around that one person, and to show them that, like, despite you being that roadblock,
That's it.
I can still excel,
and I will still help you.
Yes, because I'm not. We're not mean people.
Yeah, exactly. We're not.
We're not mean at all. We love to, help others.
Yeah.
That's, I think, a core part of both of our personalities.
Absolutely. And then even gatekeeping with friends. Support one another. Right? It's not, we're not all doing the exact same things, right? So we have this podcast.
Right.
Somebody else may have this small business selling shirts or whatever. This other person may be selling, I don't know, makeup or doing hair or a notary or, I have a friend group who is 10 of us and we all have unique talents and gifts. And it's so amazing how we all met and how much we get along, but we're so equally different.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
Yeah.
How we all do different stuff. There's some flight attendants in there. There's some HR people. There's some military. There's teachers. There's some manufacturing distribution. There's some, a whole plethora of different jobs and skill sets. We all get along, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
You probably, if you saw us, you would probably think, AJ, why are you? That is not your crowd, and it's not. but we all get along.
Yeah, and you
And
come
it's
together,
amazing.
and it becomes this
It's
beautiful
amazing.
diversity. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
A
yeah,
potluck of people,
yeah.
right?
And we'll get
Potluck of
into
people. That's rude. That's
that
strange. Sorry.
potluck will be.
I don't. A melting pot. I guess that's what I mean. Melting pot.
Are we gonna melt in the
Well,
pot?
you know what they say. Like America's the melting pot.
I ain't never heard that. But yes, here at HR Unlock the podcast, we
Hmm.
want to open the gate, keep it open, and I said this to you the other day. It doesn't matter who gets there,
Hmm.
as long as somebody sends the car to come pick up the rest of us, right?
Right. Yeah.
Or a plane, or we
Something.
can walk back.
Yeah.
We'll come
Just
get you.
don't forget the folks behind you. Don't close
Exactly.
the door off. Don't.
Exactly.
And also, I mean, speaking of gatekeeping, I think that limits innovation because, as you mentioned, if you
Mm.
know somebody if has done a report for 5 years that they've been here, and you come in day one, and you say, okay, show me how you do this report, and then the knowledge that you brought from a different field, you say, hey, well, I used ADP before,
Yep. And
and
that's we can
that's
do that so
it
different
can be done so
and
differently.
easier.
Yeah, so you're creating these innovation blind spots where
Yep.
people are not
That's a
able
good point.
to add in what they know, you
Yep.
know?
That's
So that
a
can
good point.
also stifle an organization because if you have people doing the same things and you only have two people who are the only ones who know how to do it,
Yep.
it you're missing out on what other people can bring.
Right. And what if that person goes out
Mm,
or they're on vacation?
yeah,
I mean,
business continuity planning.
right. I gotta call them to your point. They're in Hawaii,
Mm-hmm.
have drunk many tequila shots,
Right?
and now you gotta walk us through how to do this,
Mm,
which is crazy.
it is. It
Now,
is.
now maybe Brenda should have created SOP.
Sure.
But then who thinks about let me create SOP to run a report? Like
Yeah.
that's
And
weird.
maybe it's a report you only run once every 2 months.
But this particular month, she forgot to do it or
Hmm.
whatever. Now she's out. Now we really need it for a call tomorrow
Yeah.
at 8 a.m.
Hmm.
And whoever does calls at 8 a.m. is like crazy.
Oh,
We still we
do you not have a morning five? I have a morning five every morning at 8 a.m.
morning five.
Yeah, we call it, it's supposed to be a morning meeting that lasts 5 minutes. Does it last
Oh.
5 minutes? Absolutely.
No, we don't have a morning. You know what? That's a morning
It is
five.
good though because sometimes we all talk about, so it's every department lead pretty much
Okay. Yep.
is in it, and they say, okay, what's on the agenda, and then we talk about safety on the forefront. We're like, hey, are there any safety
Okay.
aspects that need to be
Yeah.
addressed?
So we have it's called DVS. There's a
Okay,
DVS meeting every morning at 8
what's
Eastern Standard Time.
okay, Easter. I love how you told me I'll be there next time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's somewhere else. And that's 7 Central. So that's 7 a.m.
Well, I guess when you're at your
Traveling.
location, yeah,
Yeah.
then you can be there. But
Oh yeah.
when you're in Alabama
Don't worry
time,
about
that's tough.
Yeah. I'll catch y'all next time. Um but here's a question I have for you
Hmm.
or people who gatekeep. If I have a family member
Hmm.
who I recommend,
Hmm.
can I trust you to look after them? Can I trust you to provide them the information that they need? Or if it's a friend, can I say, you know what? Go see Abby. She's
Yeah.
going to set you up. She's going to set you up for success.
Right.
Or am I going to send her to Abby or him to Abby or they to Abby?
Hmm.
And it was like, I mean, you're gonna have to get it how you get it. I mean, I've
Hmm.
been here for 20 years,
Yeah.
and I had to learn on my own. So are you.
Yeah.
Short story. I mean, I know we run out of time.
It's okay.
Um, I was doing an interview,
Hmm.
and I think you remember this story for employee relations manager
Hmm.
at the number one best company in Alabama, UAB, and
Okay.
and I was in the interview, and the interviewer basically said some of those words to me, like,
Mm.
"I've been here a long time, and you just gotta, I'm not gonna baby feed you."
Mm. You have to work just as hard
Yeah.
as I did.
Like, why?
Yeah. And
I'm
we're
not,
not.
I'm not asking you to tell me all the secrets, take me
Yes.
to the dead bodies, but I mean, set me up for success, and that
Yes.
means providing me the information necessary to do my job and do it well.
Absolutely. And that's the other thing. We're willing to work hard. It's not about
Definitely.
not working hard. It's just about
12, 14 hours a day.
right. Absolutely. It's about if we don't know, how can we excel?
Yep.
So just passing on that information is just so vital. And then eventually as well, there are organizations that I've worked in. People will retire. People will
Yep.
leave. What happens when that person leaves? Again, business continuity. How is your organization going to function if somebody that you consider vital, who does these tasks that no one knows how to do outside of this person,
Yep.
gets up and finds another opportunity, or decides maybe they're done working in HR, whatever it may be?
Yep.
You have no plan. And then you're scrambling last minute. All right, Brenda, what we're bringing it back to Brenda. But
Brenda,
like,
you got to do better, Brenda.
yeah, like give us all, like, what do you do on a day-to-day basis?
Yep.
And Brenda may be a little salty and might not give you everything that
And
she's
Brenda, like,
doing.
I'm out.
Yeah, like good
You know?
luck. Good luck. So it's there's so many things that gatekeeping just hinders,
Yeah.
and like I said, bringing it back to the innovation, but also, not allowing the space for others,
Yep.
especially people of color. I think that we need to create more inclusion
Yep.
with each other.
Absolutely.
We need to, because again, that can also lead to a toxic workforce. You're going to have departments of people who don't really want to work together because they feel like, okay, I got to be on my P's and Q's all the time, which we should always be, right?
Yeah.
But we have to be especially careful and navigate in a way that doesn't promote, teamwork or any type of inclusion.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's interesting though, isn't it?
It's very interesting, and I can go on for hours.
You heard my Southern come out, isn't it? I'm not Southern. I just been here for too long, I guess.
Where were you born?
I was born in Hollywood, Florida. And I lived in Florida for 15 years, and then I came here. Wow. I know it.
Wow. And your parents are from where?
Haiti. Yes. So I'm a little Caribbean as well. That's why I'm always cold.
So they're not eating the cats and dogs, right?
They're eating the cat and the dog. No.
Okay, just making sure. All right. Abby, anything else?
No. I think that kind of can transition us. Maybe we can play a game. Think we got a little time for that?
Yep, I think we got a little time. Yeah.
All right. So, AJ, I know how much you love Judge Judy. That's your girl.
I love Judge. She is so funny. She's consistent. She's a little mean.
Yeah. She's been a staple. I mean, I remember being sick and just at home at like 12 watching her.
Yeah. I want to be. Okay. Producers out there.
Mm-hmm.
I'll wait. Okay. Go ahead.
Well, you never know. When you're done with law school, we never know.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
The podcast.
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to name 3 scenarios, and you're going to let me know if you would pass, give this person a pass, a final warning, or terminate them.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Clear?
Yep.
All right. So the first one is.
Use my gavel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So the first one is if an employee has been no call, no show for 3 days.
Oh, terminated.
Absolutely.
Easy.
Good. Okay. Number 2, if an employee is late for work because they had a flat tire.
So it depends. That's a legal term. It depends on.
Yes and no, right? Because policy. We have to adhere to our policy and standards.
So according to attendance policy, are they at a point and are they already on the final? Is it their last leg? If have they had so many occurrences, and if they late one more time, terminate it. But it really depends.
I think final warning, but you're right. I think final warning to say, because like you said, there's a history there. If a person has had multiple lates, multiple issues, then they have a flat tire, it's like, all right, come on, we just talked about it. Yeah, we just talked about it. But then, there's the other side of it. Like, we've had issues, and we're in Birmingham, so we don't have too much traffic issues, but there has been really bad wrecks on 459 where we have said, okay, everybody, including our supervisor, has been late. We need to take that into consideration and make an adjustment today of 5 minutes, because the news and people, everybody is late for the shift. So that's a little bit.
And that's true. But I mean, if you're not late or absent or call off all the times, this flat tire will only be like one occurrence.
Yeah, absolutely. That's true.
So get to work on time.
Yeah, agree. Please get to work on time.
We appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so the last one is an employee gets into a fight with a coworker For context, they lost.
Terminate. Okay.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately.
So, okay. We're terminating both of them, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. If they engage now, here's the thing though, if the person was attacking the other person, the person didn't, you know what I mean? It depends. Like
Yeah.
I believe that the person is just trying to shield themselves and say like, hey, no, I'm not going to engage in this.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be terminated.
Yeah.
Now, if they're both tussling,
I've
yeah.
seen it.
They're both tussling. And that's hard too, because again, I think a lot of our intuition is fight or flight,
Yep,
right?
yeah.
If somebody tries to attack you, you're either going to run or you're going to stand your ground.
Yeah. And I think some employees would argue with us that usually their argument is, well, I had to defend myself. But my question is, how did it lead up to the fight?
Right.
Was there talking, yam, 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 yam? Or did they just come and just start,
Yeah, ragging on
I think
you.
that also, that can
Yeah,
sway
and
me.
no, for sure. Like I said, and I also think that defending yourself shouldn't be something that, leads you to get terminated. But there's a fine line between defending yourself and then also just like, going to town.
Yeah, I think we need to write a handbook.
Mm.
It needs to be the HR Unlocked podcast handbook.
Yeah. Like a fill in the blank, right?
Help us out with that. Yeah.
But I think that could be interesting. Like a fill in the blank, like, hey, any startup organizations that are interested in getting, like a basic handbook, we can provide that.
Yeah. And it can be, don't fight.
Don't.
Period. Add that to the handbook. Don't fight. Come to work on time.
Yes.
Period. Add it to the handbook. But that was fun. We got to do that more because I love the gavel.
You love your little gavel.
I think we should do HR Unlocked Court.
Ooh, interesting.
And I can bring my choir robe.
You'll be in all the regalia. It'd be great.
Yeah, we do a case. Yeah.
Maybe we can bring in the people. And it can be like 2 or 3 folks.
Exactly.
That could be fun. That could be fun.
Yeah. And what are you going to play? Are you going to be the judge too?
Well, yeah, we can be judge. We can be judges together. Like, do I have to wear the robe?
I feel like I want to be a judge of myself. I have the gavel, not you.
Fine, all right. I guess maybe that's what you can do.
Maybe you can be the bailiff.
Rude. I don't want to be a police officer. But maybe when I'm gone, that could be something you do.
Yeah.
When I'm on vacation.
Anyway, Abby, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, thank you. I enjoyed it. I said that one time.
You did. You did.
I can't even get mad.
Anything else? Anything we need to share with them?
No, I don't think so. I think our socials, right?
Yeah, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn.
Yes.
Add us on LinkedIn. What else? Subscribe.
Yes.
And yeah, it's not over here. It's right here.
Oh, whoops.
I think
it's right there.
Yeah,
cool.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give us 5 stars on Apple, Spotify, and anywhere else you listen to podcasts. We have a lot of fun here.
Yeah.
We talk about really good stuff, good knowledge. We give you free training. Send us a donation.
And we want to keep doing this. Yeah. So part of the way to help, support us is by subscribing and tuning in every week.
Exactly. And share this with your friends, your family, your coworkers.
Yeah.
Anybody that enjoys HR or really don't like HR, share it. We want to hear from you too.
Yeah.
Employees, I know sometimes you don't really understand the behind the scenes of HR and what we do, how we do it. This podcast is for you. This is your opportunity to learn from really, people your age, right? Millennials, people who are in there, who have been in these type of conversations, who have been in the meetings, who know HR and still learning. You know what? Have you thought about, how you practice law, you have a practice, a doctor who's practicing medicine.
They go through their trials.
Practicing HR, is that a thing?
Ooh, interesting. Well, here's the thing. Oftentimes,
I guess we're practitioners. HR practitioners.
Maybe
because the laws are forever changing.
They are. You got to keep abreast on all the knowledge because it's changing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess practitioners. But another thing that I'll add to that is also reach out to us. Like if you want you want to be on the podcast, you have questions, concerns, like let us know. That's what
send us your HR complaints. because I think from this episode forward,
Mhm.
you are our employees.
Ooh, I like that.
And we want to hear from our employees.
Mhm.
Um,
Are you corporate Erin? Shout out. She's
Shout out
great.
to Corday.
I love her.
She's a manager.
She's great.
Oh man. But yeah, reach out to us.
Mhm.
Is there anything else?
No, I don't think so. So until our next meeting.
Let's have a great week.
All right.